Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We're going to be going into our pistol round in just a moment. So, well, if you have walked off, if you walked off, you can't hear me. That doesn't make any sense. If you were thinking of walking off, don't. This is going to be the moment where the game will be getting back in a very close first map, although it didn't begin that way. 3D Max took themselves a 15-3 lead. It went all the way back to overtime, and then they managed to close it in OT anyway. So, you know, It was a long match in the end, and it is going to now go over to Inferno, which is the choice of 3D Max. But, well, the way that this game has gone so far, it seemed like a momentum brawl, and maybe AGO can do the dirty on 3D Max and take us over to our third and final map. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting showdown, and I'm looking forward to seeing whether or not they will be able to just close this one out. Of course, if we do go to a third and final map, we will be heading over to Dust 2. Either way, at the moment, we are just, of course, sat in our warm-up. We've already had the knife run. Hopefully, we will be going into this one in just a moment's time. And, well, speak of the devil, and she shall appear. Or he shall appear. As you can see, we do have the sort of inclusive prize pool. $57,000 up for grabs. Obviously going to be split between the winners. And, yeah, pretty big prize pool for an online tournament. I think that's the one good thing with the sort of Hellcase thing is that a lot of the cases open, I believe, or there's a special case that you open that goes straight into this prize pool. And I believe as well, if you go over to Hellcase now, there is a giveaway that involves funny story, but also Orb Medusa. I don't know which one you'd prefer. Probably the Medusa, but hey, maybe you really want a good laugh. Either way, check that out, hellcase.com. Blah, blah, blah. You know the rest. You know the sellout. Here we go. Into our pistol round. It is going to be 3D Max. Looking to try and close this out in 2. And AGO looking for their survival in the Hellcase Cup. As you can see, the big boy prize pool at the top. It's worth fighting for. Like, most online tournaments, you may see 15K, maybe a little bit more than that. But $57,000 is a pretty impressive prize pool. In fact, back in the day, you wouldn't even see LAN events with that sort of money. So here we go. Spiro, ready and waiting. Just a little tap to the foot, but that one isn't. The face of Jinx is gone, and well, the face of this round has already changed. The T's are going to look to try and swarm in towards Groovy, who's in on that pit. Has a little bit of support on the site. Well, he did, and actually, Maka and Lucky are going to remove any support that he had and his own face, while the CT side try and rotate back in. It seemed like Spiro had that one dead to rights, but it will be his teammate to have to finish off Maka, but still, the man advantage sticks with this T side, and Tao, he may have the kit, but he needs his teammate to help him out a little bit more. It's the first kill the way of Furlan. Lucky will trade, and they're going to overwhelm. Another pistol round on the board. I believe that is all 3 pistols that we've had so far going the way of 3D Max. Now let's see how they do in the conversion rounds. Here we go, though. Not a whole lot invested, actually. A few upgraded pistols. And already Furlan puts one of them to good use. They're going to save the extra money to make sure they have utility going into their first buy round, if they don't manage to steal this one away, which would be pretty impressive, to say the least. It's going to be the T's looking to try and turn this one back around. I'm going to go back towards the A side, which is where the majority of the players currently are. A fairly standard round from AGO in terms of setup, but they have sat themselves much more towards the site itself. Spiro with the P count. It will be Jax to actually find kill, but, wow, a lot of damage being done. And actually, the CT side are doing a hell of a lot of damage. They've turned it down to just 2 players remaining. Jinx will be able to remove 1. And actually, Groovy just sat in the corner. 3 kills. All he invested was $500 into a CZ. and he's now taken a round for his team. 1-1, AGO bounce back even. And while now the T's, all they can do is actually invest into pistols themselves. That is quite a big mistake from 3D Max, and actually a big bolster to the economy of AGO, who were actually saving a lot of money into that round. They now sit with 4 rifles and a trusty MP9 to try and shred these remaining players. It is going to be majority CZs. It's not Toad. I wish it was Toad, because that would be a lot easier. It's definitely Toa or Tau or one of the above. It's an O, I'm pretty certain. Or maybe it's T-Dad. I doubt it, though. Jinx with that trusty CZ, already going to be finding the opening pick. They got to clear out that pit, and Spiro is still there. He almost manages to take a second. It is just going to be the trades back, and actually back into a 3 versus 3 as well. Maka has managed to find himself a rifle, and Tau being a little bit sneaky around in that smoke has caught another. It's not looking good for the T side. They're being tagged more and more as the seconds go by. Either way, 55 seconds left on the clock, and the T's, well, they're kind of screwed. They need somebody to make a big mistake here over on the CT side. The bomb's on the site, and they are not. So they have to make the cross. Maka does actually manage to find one, but he's down to just 3 HP. And, well, if Toa looks through the little crack, he might be able to see anything here. PHR still ready to just finish him off. And, well, Maka's so very low on HP, there is absolutely no chance here. AGO, they do convert themselves to second round and bounce back after what could have been a poor start to them once again. It's pronounced Tau. Okay. I'm always going to butcher it, though. It's like when you say a name quickly, you just try and read it as quickly as possible, and a lot of the time you just forget. Some mistakes will be made. Apologies in advance. You definitely did not put $2,000 on AGO, because I know you, and I know you don't have $2,000. So, nice try, Terry. Nice try. Maybe you stole your mum's banking card. Maka, oh, he's had a little bit of a nightmare there, and while the bomb has not been dropped in a pretty position. CT side just looking to pad their stats a little bit. And that's exactly what they'll do. Not a single player lost. And already a big bank built up for the CT side early in this one. They'll have at least another buy even if things go wrong. The Ts will actually have a pretty decent buy themselves, though, going back into this round. Lots of utility, AK-47s on every single player, and looking to try and get themselves back onto the board after the mistakes in the second. It really does show the pure power of those pistols. The fact that a team with no armor, a CZ and some Deagles can do enough. David P is adding up. There wasn't even an assist there. He just straight up killed Lucky. Which is not the start they were looking for, and it is going from bad to worse. They're getting absolutely decimated at the moment. Maka down to just 17 HP, and on the other side of the map, we see an attempt at probing as well. Call everybody Bob. It is easy to remember and easy to pronounce. You are correct. Jax. A little bit of utility damage onto himself. Whoever thought that name is an absolute walnut. I like that as an insult. It's almost like it's such a weak insult that it's almost offensive. That you're just like, but why a walnut? T's. 3 versus 4. Jinx. Needs to do something here. The time is just going to play against them now. It's like an extra man for the AGO side that the clock is starting to tick lower, and you know that the T's are going to have to make their move. While PHR has made his, it is going to be a shutdown. AGO with 4 players surviving once again. Their bank is starting to look a little bit ludicrous, and the T's, well, they can really go for in this round is some pistols. I say, oh, we know that they can call people a burnt crumpet. That sounds like the most British insult ever. You burnt crumpet. Confused and insulted. Yeah, no, I agree. It's like calling someone, maybe if you called them an undercooked scone, I think that would be, that sounds offensive, and it's really not. But I feel like rude if I was calling something like that. Boost going to be up. The pistols so far not so good for the T side. It's only really been AGO doing the damage. Jax will be able to close out one, but he's not going to expect PHR or Groovy, in fact, who's even just going with his trusty P2K. And there's going to be 5-1 already for AGO. They're making a lot of these rounds look very, very easy, and while the scoreline and their financial status. Yeah, no, I know. It's the, if you just call someone a scone, they're just confused. You call them an undercooked scone, you're like, what? So you don't even have jam inside you. That's how much of a bad scone you are. Anyway, I'm gonna move away from sort of pastry-based insults and hey, Deada's history, how art thou? And move back into the game. It is Jinx already. Down to 37 HP. I have to say the utility usage from AGO so far has been absolutely excellent. And we sort of saw them saving to try and get all this utility. And well, Furlan, he's still going to do the work with a rifle. Double kill for him already. Lucky looking to try and trade this back. They are just going to try and push straight in. Assuming there's only going to be one man left. Groovy with the pop flash out. Trying to give his teammate a little bit of support, but it won't quite work as the T's do get themselves back into a 3v3. Smoking off all the necessary avenues. But even still, Groovy doesn't need vision. He doesn't need vision at all. He's just going to spray straight through it and find himself a kill. Leaving it into a 3v2. Jax has got to watch out because he's got a man coming in from behind. He's going to try and pop flash Lucky through the smoke, and although the flash doesn't take, the shots do. PHR will now push him from behind, and Lucky now has everything left to do. Manages the first. PHR around the corner, and it's Lucky to close it out. 4 kills for him, a big round for his team. The problem is the CT side with buckets of money, and the T's having to scrape what they can. You're a pitiful cup of tea. I almost want to say, like, you're the type of person to put the milk in first. Hey, Dinko. Thou art goodeth. Did you get the new PC? No, I'm just casting from the Starladder Studios. they currently have 2 very good PCs sat next to me combined to stream this, and they're using a clean feed. So I'm pretty sure that at the moment I'm using about 1% CPU usage. Missed shot on the boost. Lucky looking to continue his reign of terror. Will they expect Tau? Oh, that's a mistake. They don't check it. They don't expect this many players to be on Banana. Lucky's going to execute him anyway. He's playing excellently over the last couple of rounds, and Jax will even chime in. And Lucky just, okay. He doesn't need vision either. It's left now all onto PHR. He's at least on the right side of the map, but Jax pops his head as he runs through the smoke. An excellent couple of rounds has now left the CT side a little bit more honest in terms of how much money they have. It should be Sparrow. I always said Sparrow. I try and put a little bit of emphasis in. Here we go, though. A bit of a mismatch buy. You got a double AWP setup, a CZ, an MP9. Ooh, hello. Mac has taken a little bit of damage. Spiro. There we go, Tau. It's going to be the one to find the opener. The T's definitely aren't out of the woods themselves. Their financial situation is not a good one. The fact is, though, look at the setup. They've gambled. And the thing is, when you gamble like this, I like to see a player, or at least the AWP, a little bit more aggressive. A little bit further forward, because there's a situation like this where things become very difficult. Furlan all alone. He needs at least a kill. That's the bare minimum here. Get a kill, and then it's sort of a 4v3 retake. That'll be fine. In fact, he just survives, which actually isn't that bad, especially with Groovy just coming in from behind and netting 2 frags without much problem at all. PHR adds another, and while Jinx, he tries his best. It's a 1v5. You can't really expect too much. Bomb plant definitely going to help the T's. Give them something a little bit extra. Spear O. Well, then why is there a Z? I don't think Sparrow was taken. Yeah, I know. I normally just it's not something very noticeable, I'll be honest. I'm sure at times I've even just said Sparrow, but I always try and add a little bit because it just like if there's a Z, there has to be like a. You don't pronounce the Z. Oh, it's silent, the classic silent Z. Yeah, I know, it's Sparrow, that's what I mean. I'm saying to the people who are saying it's just Sparrow, like, you add the Z adds a little bit of Shazam. I wonder if he's named after the superhero. What's with the contrast? I'm actually, like, in the studio, so anything you see on the screen is nothing to do with me. I have excuses this time. I am just casting and running a few ads every once in a while. Sorry about that, but, well, that's how these sort of things are run. Hashtag sponsors. You may not like the ads, but I like the tournaments and the games that come out of it. And also, a lot of these things help support teams, sort of keeping money coming in by winning these sort of things. So it's all good in the grand scale of things. Groovy, well, he's been doing very well so far. Him and PHR combine to find themselves a couple of kills. And in these sort of situations, you're sort of in a catch-22 if you're the T-side. You don't know how much map control has been taken by your opponents, so you kind of just want to keep pushing. But the fact is, most of the time, if you keep pushing, there's only going to be one result, and that is death. And well, 11 HP between the 2 players remaining over on the 3D Max side. I think round number 7 is going the way of AGO. Or round 7 for them, round number 10 overall. Yeah, there's a Shazam film coming out, isn't there? With the guy, wasn't he the guy from, oh, what was it? Was it called Chuck? That TV show about like the guy who worked, like he pretended to work in like a hardware store, but he was actually a spy. I forgot all about that show. That show was so weird. How is it 57k? Basically, I think Hellcase put in a base amount of money, and then there's a certain case that was opened. I don't know if it still can be opened, but it was opened, and half of it went into the prize pool. Quite a cool little thing. Either way, Maka, nice shot. He's on a solitary AK, the lone man with a weapon. And, whoa, Groovy is looking to shut this down. Maka will at least trade one back, but he's the only one doing any damage. The pistols have achieved absolutely nothing. And, well, Lucky left into a 1 versus 3. Now, he has been pretty good so far. They give him props where it's due. If so, David, I apologize. Either way, he's going to get to sneak through here. Now, Furlan has somewhat abandoned the site, obviously just holding the cross, and unfortunately, Lucky doesn't actually have a smoke. But if he can just peek out here with the AWP, oh, he's dead. Dead. Yeah, absolutely nothing he can do. Didn't expect Furlan to sit here. Don't pronounce Spiro like hero, more like Italian pepperoni. What? I'm so unbelievably confused by that sentence, but I appreciate the effort. My favorite type of onion. Go away, Terry. Please. I don't know. Normal ones. There you go. Work that one out. And they're gonna have offended some onions out there because I'm saying they're abnormal. Justice for onions. Either way, this time the T's have decided to take themselves the hit. Not much invested here, a little bit of utility, a couple of flashbangs, and they're going to try and just bombard their way in towards this B site. Tao is going to be ready and waiting. He's got support from Furlan as well, who has actually been blindsided. They've got a couple of kills here, and a bomb plant would be very helpful indeed. A little bit of extra money, and also a 4v3 situation. Now, realistically, they shouldn't be able to win this, but it is Counter-Strike. Anything is possible. Don't let your dreams be memes, and we'll see if AGO are just going to be able to trade this one out. Just a couple of shots. They've still got a rifle in play. Maybe if they can bait for one of those and just trade effectively. I think that's where you do have to give credit to 3D Max. They're normally pretty good at their trading. Maka already going to manage to find one. PHR's doing the work, and he is just cleaning things up. Lucky tries his best. All in all, I would say that's a fairly successful round. Just pistols, a bomb plant, 4 kills. You can't really do anything wrong. Is there a way to mute the caster? You can mute the whole sound. Or you could come all the way to the studios and try and assassinate me. But I warn you, yeah, no, actually, I probably wouldn't do anything. I warn you, it's quite a long way to go. I should be a replacement for Sadicus. I like Sadicus. I like listening to him cast. He's a beast. Very entertaining. Just mute the caster in game is fine. Oh, that's unfortunate. I guess you can cry about it. That's about it, really. 57k, yeah. Big boy prize pool for an online tournament. Furlan already going to be kicking things off. AGO are looking strong on this CT side. Oh. Although I say that, and Furlan's been cooked. It's a Languini. I know it's Linguini, but still, the pun. I'm going with an awful pun. Leave me alone. Tao. Ready and waiting. We'll only pick off one. I think Jinx may have taken a little bit of damage from that as well. And there's actually another AWP here. Double AWP set up on the B site. And they are getting ruined. Jinx now left into what is a 1v3 after he takes the first down. He's got to try and find one of these individual jewels. And it's not going to happen. Groovy. He's on an absolute tear at the moment. 10-3. Oh, like Spiro rather than Spiro. Pepper. Okay, I get what you're doing there. Who's going to win the next major and why is it Sprout? Because obviously they've got the greatest Danish player of all time, NATO Safix, who is future best player in the world, obviously. That's why Sprout are going to win the next major. They've just got to grow a little bit, you know. They need the right soil. (10-3). AGO, they were on a fantastic comeback from 15-3 down in the previous map. And, well, it looks like they're just continuing that on this map. Although, Tao misses a shot, and it's to Lucky as well. He's not someone who has been underperforming so far in this map. He has been one of the better players for 3D Max. How's life going in Ukraine? It's good. I like it. NATO Safix to Astralis. Yeah, obviously, minus device plus NATO. The obvious choice. T side looking to try and find something in towards this A side, but Spiro evens up the scoreline once again. Can you play Fortnite? No, I don't like terrible games. He's also actually looking to try and sneak in. Again, it's sort of one of these weird scenarios from Furlan where he's given up quite a bit of control over towards the B side, but he seems to get away with it. He's just going to be sat up close. I don't know if they're expecting him to be here, and they don't. They're too busy looking, trying to clear out the site. That he's always got that little off angle. In the meantime, we do see a kill coming in on the other side of the map. And now Groovy boosted up. Say goodbye to Maka. Jax gets one at least, and will be able to take this bomb and get it down on A. But the fact is, the CT still have themselves a man advantage. Couple of kits, not much utility. Jax is going to try and reposition a little bit here, but the problem is, just look at the way they're doubling up. It's always a good sign for AGO when they're just playing together. They've got both players just looking for a trade. They don't even care about keeping both of them alive, and, well, it won't matter anyway. Furlan's just going to hit the instant headshot. 11-3, a dominating half coming out. Average IQ of the chat. That's a dangerous question to ask. Probably a lot lower than you think. Although, if you consider the number that people will say, it's probably about 4 million, like, if we're honest. Here we go, though. T-side desperately wanting to try and win themselves around. Nice little running boost, but Sparrow not going to be able to connect the shot. And look at the nade damage. This has just been the story for AGO so far. They've been excellent with their utility, just making their opponents so ridiculously low. Obviously, Banana such a crucial point to try and challenge, but it's just been the timing of those nades every single time, able to just catch them off. Spiro. This time he does connect, and that's a second as well. He's looking much better in this map as well. Groovy has been an absolute star. Well, he's going to die. Can we keep the curse going? PHR, he's been excellent too. Yeah, look, then he died. Oh, Furlan. He's going to fall to David P, and he's left into a 1 versus 2 here. Stuck reloading, and Tao is going to close things out. 12-3. We saw this from 3D Max. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch and say that this is over, but, well, 3D Max are going to have to do exactly what was done to them and then go into overtime and win. How do you know this isn't rigged? I suppose you don't really know anything isn't rigged unless you're the one running it. But I would assume it is, because I like the thing that always I find very weird is, especially with like decent prize pools, when people say like people are throwing, because I don't know how much they'd actually have to be like betting to get more than the money they'd actually get from this tournament. And also, like, you want to keep your brand looking good, so obviously the teams would notice that, so it just seems a little bit peculiar. Then again, I feel like people just like to complain. That is the problem. Don't bet. Well, actually, that's another thing. It's like people are just going to moan when they bet if they're wrong. So, you know. Oh, yeah, I'd love to see Bentner. Bentner playing CSGO. That's like a dream. I still remember Bentner I think he used to have the number 52 as his shirt number for Arsenal, because that was how much he was being paid a week. I think that's just hilarious. Just like, this is how much money I make. And then I think the number mysteriously changed when he stopped earning so much money. You just want to see good, fair Counter-Strike. Well, I can tell you both these teams are trying to win. Lucky already finds himself the opener. An important pistol for 3D Max if they are going to make this comeback a reality. And they are looking like they're doing a damn good job so far. Groovy is still standing, though. 20 kills, 7 deaths. He's been absolutely superb. Can he clutch this out? He's already managed to get himself 2. The bomb is in his possession, but he's now being surrounded. He should be killed from behind, but he's actually managed to sort of sneak in. David P will put him down, though. And it is going to be a 4th on the board for 3D Max as well. That is every single pistol round now going the way of 3D Max. No trash talking Lord Ben. I wouldn't dare, even though I'm a Tottenham fan. And, you know, actually, for that very reason, I'd love him to go back. Although, then again, I think all of Arsenal strikers are pretty poor anyway. Teams playing to win, new meta. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Used to run a casino. Now that sounds like something I want to hear more about. Jax. he finds that opening pick. The T side have fully invested this time. On the CT side, you can understand a lot more about saving your cash, but here they want to try and win themselves a force buy round. Obviously, not such a close affair either. Well, I suppose it can't be closer than 0-0. Hey, Pika-chan. Maka. We'll find one more. He's traded out by Groovy. He has been very good, but he can't do anything about walking into the angle. And a lot of SMGs here for the CT side, so this really is a chance to sort of make a damn good amount of cash. PHR and Spiro, last two remaining. Just hoping to find something with their trusty hand cannons. Still a little Kinguin sticker on that one. Oh, Spiro now the only one left alive. 1 versus 4. Don't really expect anything in 3D Max here. They're going to take themselves the victory. You can't bet on your own. I don't think it's betting on yourself that people are annoyed about. It's actually betting against yourself. I think that's more what people are talking about when they say, like, you can't bet on the matches you're in. Also, you shouldn't bet on the matches you cast. Like, that's what I've learned. I've never bet. I don't bet anyway, but when I became a blackjack and poker dealer. What's the craziest person you ever sort of, like, met? Because I bet you get some real characters at casinos, just, like, mental people. Wait, it is the Glock Rush, and David P will put them all down. And Tao, actually, very kind. He's just like, you know what? Mate, here's an ace. Have it. Have a nice, cheeky little ace. Very kind of him. But they are now going to buy back in with the AK-47s up against what is still a hefty amount of SMGs. So 3D Max, they want to bolster their economy very early on. Now, this is what you call a bonus round. Or as Sadik has wanted it to be called, a Jaden round, but that never caught on. This is where you basically you go for the sort of investment into the SMGs, or you keep them from the previous couple of rounds. You look to try and make a lot of money, do damage, and you can still buy into the next round anyway. Good start already from the T side. Lucky trying to turn the tide, and once again this man seems to step up, but he will be finished off. He does allow time though, and that time is enough for the rotations. The smokes have fallen. Maka, he's dancing around these bullets. He's actually going to go pushing. This is incredibly risky, and luckily his opponents were facing the wrong way. The fact is, though, AGO, they've done the damage early. Now they can look to fall back a little bit. Okay, I threw up all over the table. Ugh. Not the nicest of stories, I'll be honest. I was more looking for somebody, like, dressed as a giant chicken or something, but that works too. Jinx sat in the corner. MP7 in hand, that's all he's got, but he's still doing damage with it. Actually gets a second as well. Now, the bomb will go down, giving a little bit of extra cash, at least, to AGO, but it looks like this man may have done enough. The rotation will be coming in. David P alongside Maka. Now, a couple of the players are pretty damn low. The clock has been ticking for quite a while. They really do need to get their running shoes on. David P's going to be coming around the angle. He's the one with any HP, but he wins the battle straight off. It looked like there could have been a little bit of hope. Bomb is going to be defused a full 10 seconds. Dressed like a giant chicken. I'm always hungry for chicken. I actually had chicken wings for dinner. But no, I just meant like, for me that would be quite a funny gambling scenario, especially if they were very good. I don't know, is there any rules against that? Like, is there a dress code for like casinos? Can I not be dressed as a giant chicken? Hulk Hogan, yeah, that's kind of cool. Was he any good? Here we go, Furlan. Aggressive push-up. Still the T's with the bomb plant have got enough money that they can purchase into this round. Of course, 3D Max hoping to try and make that comeback. They have dress codes at casinos. Oh, that's no fun then. Won't see me going in on them. Down, nice shot to close down David P. Still, they sit with a man disadvantage, but they have managed to get control of the arches, which, at least in terms of Inferno, is an excellent position to hold. It allows you rotations towards the B site, but more importantly, even if you don't go towards B, it sort of forces the CTs to play a slightly different style. And you can actually see them. They're going to push up. This is their attempted counter, but it's actually going to work wonderfully into their favor because now, the second this push looks to come in over towards the site, they're already going to have players flanking in. Maka will kick things off with the opener. Lucky's going to go down. Now they have to be a little bit careful because there's still a chance that they could double back around. Groovy up above. Bomb going to be planted actually over towards this A site, and Jinx spamming away will find one. Maka very quick to trade after his teammate goes down, and now, well, AGO, they don't really have the cash to reinvest. Hitman dressed as a chicken once. Yeah, you know, it's the same thing. Can't cover the face of the cameras. Lovely. Lovely, Aizen. Absolutely lovely. I'm glad you met my mother. Well, talk about utility usage for AGO. It seems like 3D Max can do the same. I will say, in terms of like HE damage, there is no map that compares to this one. Absolutely none. Because the amount of HEs that just chuck down Banana and mid every single round, like, I feel like if you don't end up with 300 utility damage by the end of the map and you're playing on the B site, you've done something wrong. Like that, or they've just gone A every single round. Either way, 3D Max are doing a damn good job of turning this around. A 12-3 half. They've already turned it all the way back to, well, we can pretty much say 12-9. But now we're looking for that big boy buy. A lot of B and C list celeb. I actually worked as a waiter for quite a while for like events, and it was quite funny because I had absolutely no experience, but they just sent me into like these high sort of stakes, like people bidding for like stuff, and I remember like some of them were hosted by like Brian Cox, the scientist, and you just see people playing like drinking games for every time he would say the word universe, which was absolutely hilarious. There was one that had like Stephen Fry there, Michael Caine. Like it's just like these are the sort of jobs that I never should have been doing because I like, for example, I managed to work as a wine waiter without ever opening a bottle of wine because I never bought the like corkscrew. I just had an old one that didn't work, so I just like kept taking other people's. And they'd be like, "Oh, where? Oh, just open another one." But yeah, it's like with the whole celebrity thing. I don't think I've ever really been like surprised until I saw Michael Caine, and I was just like, "Oh dear Lord." He was in lots of stuff. Also, he was really nice as well, which is great. Like, if you meet someone, I've heard a lot of people say they met like celebrities and say they were like arseholes, but yeah, and then you hear about someone just being absolutely wonderful. Like, I think one of the, well, maybe I'll say it after this round. They are being a bit slow. Basically, he said that people must call him Michael when the staff, like the head staff, was saying they had to call him Sir and stuff. It's just like simple things, but very nice. Either way, we are back into the round. I will stop waffling about like people I've met, and actually do the job I'm being employed to do. It is the T's looking to try and probe their way on towards Banana. Now there's a deep push coming in. Nice shot from, actually that was PHR over towards Arch. You just look, the timing, you hear the shot, you see the kill feed, you're like, oh, no, never mind. Jax, however, is going to find the trade back and actually manage to get all the way back up to the top of Banana. However, the T's are actually looking to make their way in towards the A site. Maka with support from Jinx. Again, they're looking to wrap around. With 30 seconds left, Maka, he can't afford to miss his shot, and he's going fairly aggressive. Manages one, though, and it looks like his teammate on the other side was making a bit of a mistake. Maka just looking to step up big here. Groovy will be the one to put down his teammate. There's seconds to spare. He's trying to throw out a little bit of utility. Jumps up on the box, hits the shot as well. And again, it's going to be PHR left in the clutch. But Lucky is there to close it down. Big round from Maka on the site. It looked like AGO should have had that one dead to rights. But instead, it's 3D Max to turn it with a 10th. A long streak back for them. 7 rounds in a row. Hackers North AWP has been nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. It's funny when a guy, Max Silver, comments on esports. Oh, well, I'm only Silver 2, you know, so. Might as well be at this point. Here we go, though. T's, they've gone for the pistols. They've got a hell of a lot of utility, and these are the sort of rounds where it pains me, but you do see them won. The funniest cast. Oh, that's very kind. Very kind. I try very hard. I think if you can make a few people laugh a day, then you're doing something right. Lucky. Very close to the edge of this smoke, and well, there's 2 kills to his name already. It's going to be trades back, but only one as another player falls. Tao making a hell of a lot of noise, and Jinx will put him down because of it. Groovy has managed to steal himself an AK-47. He has been the star for AGO so far. He is going to look to at least make things a little bit costly here. Now, the CT side, they do have a decent bank. They haven't lost a round in 7. Probably 8, unless Groovy can do something impressive. But I like this from David P. I was just about to say the B site is actually open, but him being here might be enough for Maka. Well, he's not missing that. You like my casting. Thank you, Dat Boy. Yeah, I try not to be boring. It's very easy to be at times, like especially when nothing's happening in the game. That's why a lot of the time with solo casting, I go very, very far off topic because, like, there'll be a few people in the world who'll be like, "Oh, why are you not like casting what's going on in this like round where they've just got Glocks?" And I'm like, because there's not really much I can say. I just try and make it a bit more entertaining. And it's more fun for me as well. I'll be honest, like, it's much more fun to me than going, oh, you can see in this eco round, they've bought a load of Glocks, and they're going to try and run into a site. And, oh, look, they died. And then there's the one time where they don't, and you're like, wow, they didn't die. That's about it. Talk about a throw for AGO. I highly doubt it. Have you seen that big number in the middle of the screen with the $sign next to it? That's how much money is up for grabs if AGO managed to win this whole thing. So, yeah, I don't think so. I would be very surprised. And also, they're a pretty serious team. You could even say they're a bit of a big deal. Best team in Poland. So, you know. No, it's not. 3D Max are just doing an incredible job. That's the other thing when I hear people say, like, oh, yeah, they're throwing. I'm like, well, all that really is just an insult to the other team. Like, 3D Max are mounting an impressive comeback, and the thoughts on people's minds is, oh, AGO are just throwing this away. No. It's been impressive from 3D Max. They've managed to win this many rounds in a row. They're holding down these sites. Utility usage has been absolutely excellent. Even towards the depths, they're throwing smokes deep. They're not missing their shots, and they have brought it back to 12-12. It's an impressive showing from 3D Max. And AGO at the moment have not had anything to play against. They are not playing particularly well on this T side. Their T side of the last map was actually pretty poor as well, I have to say. Now, I sort of put that down to maybe they got off to a bit of a slow start, but here they don't have so many excuses. They played a map, they warmed up, they were doing well. Now they've lost 9 rounds in a row. And it's 3D Max firmly in the driver's seat. But we saw this in the previous one. 15-3 in favor of 3D Max. It went to OT. Oh, here we go. Here we go, Jax. Oh, that was one for the highlight reel. But unfortunately, he couldn't quite control the spray. Still does enough damage to pretty much put this round to bed. Unless PHR and Furlan can look to try and do some more damage. It's now on to just Furlan. I still stand by the fact that this team should have been called Furlan's Revenge, obviously after being kicked from Kingwin, and then going make a better team than Kingwin. So it was always a sort of impressive thing. In fact, they're now taking players from Kingwin in the form of Spiro. I don't know, that tickles me a little bit. Although, I don't know, no, actually Kingwin made a new roster. So, to be fair, Was Sparrow in that team at all? I've completely blanked on whether or not he was ever in that team. But they're picking up players who used to be in that Kingwin roster. I actually think that Kingwin roster is hella good. I really like that team. I really liked this team when they still had Snatchy. And I would have liked to see the sort of face-off between the two. I think Virtus Pro in terms of their like level of Polish CS and probably third now. Or maybe not now. I don't know how AGO are really playing at the moment. Looking a bit dicey. Do I bet? No. Either way. Quick trade early on. Tower's going to find a kill, and Jax will burn down Furlan. It is 3D Max in the lead after being 9 rounds behind. They win 10 in a row. Double digits without losing a round is pretty damn impressive. And not an easy task whatsoever. The question is, can they pull this over the line? The last map went to OT, and they won it. They should have done, to be honest. Should have done it much earlier, but that's besides the point. A win's a win. Here we go. 3 players ready and waiting over on this CT side. 50 seconds left. AGO not leaving it so late this time. And actually, this time there's not so much utility, but there is Maka. He's got that orb. Jax is going to find the trade. As it is down into a 3, well, now versus 1. And Maka has been absolutely incredible over on this CT side. He really has stepped up big. We saw some strong performances from Lucky to grab them the few rounds that they got. But Maka really has been leading the way. Tao is doing his very best. Is actually managing to spin around and find a few kills along the way. They don't really need to fight him here, but Maka will do it nonetheless. 14 and 12. Two rounds needed for 3D Max. They have won 11 in a row. This is ludicrous. Like, this is some of the most impressive comebacks I've seen in a long time. Like, we saw a 15-3 scoreline and AGO bring it all the way back to 15-15. We've seen a 12-3 scoreline, and now 3D Max have brought it back all the way to 14-12 in their favor. It's almost like the teams have got some sort of pact to just win streaks of rounds in a row. Obviously, they don't. Before anybody's like, oh, he cast for a minute. Here we go, though. David P. He'll kick things off and actually does a lot more damage than the 1 kill that he got suggests. However, Jinx goes down with nothing. And if you look at the current setup for the CT side, this may be the first round coming up on the board for this AGO side on the second half. And I think the CT side may even just duck out of it. It's all right. You can have this one. I get what you mean about, like, both these teams not having the best T-sides. Although, there's all a bit where you've like, can't they just watch Astralis and learn something? It's like, yes, they can, but watching Astralis and recreating what Astralis do are two very, very different things. I could watch Astralis all day. I could tell you now, I could spend 2,000 hours watching their games, and I could still not do 99.9%. Maybe I'll pick up like 1 or 2 smokes and be like, look, this is one that Zipix threw in the major final. Isn't that impressive? I did really like, one of the things I loved was watching them do their triple nade stacks. They just had like different triple nades that they were just throwing into different places. Like one of the ones was, you know, the really common boost on B side of overpass. And it was just a triple nade stack that would go in there. And it was just magnificent because it would just do so much damage. And you're just sat there like, that literally costs like $900. It's just brilliant. Like, they really, like, the amount of effort they put in, even though they're at the top, is just so impressive. Because that's the thing. That is always what you talk about in sports, what you talk about in esports as well. Getting to the top is one thing. Staying there is another. And the thing that Astralis do is, I think there's so many teams that do get complacent, or I heard get complacent. They don't put in so much effort. But Astralis, they get to the top, and then they're like, right, now let's put in as much work as we were putting before, if not more, because we want to stay there. And I just love it. Yeah, and well, obviously, props have to go to the coach as well. It really is impressive. So, yeah. Well, back to the game. 3D Max. They've already done quite a bit of damage with their utility once again. These nades going down. Oh, the he just jump over that? I genuinely think he might have just jumped over the AWP shot. I think if he stood still, he would have been taking a shot to the chest. A little bit of utility being thrown back, but nobody there anymore. CTs have fallen. They've decided to just play a bit of a more passive strategy. I wonder if we'll see them re-aggress. I like you too, Juriska. There we go, though. It looking like they may just go for a more standard B take. And actually, this is one of the better rounds for them to do it. There's not that much there for the CT side to hold them back. Great entry from Furlan as well. Lucky, he needs a second. He needs a second kill, and he gets it as well. Can he do anything more? A third from Lucky. Now he's given them the advantage going into this retake. They should have closed him down. But that AWP from the back corner, it's a classic spot. I still remember Get Right with that auto sniper spamming shots away. This time it's Lucky with the AWP. And now the T's. 3 versus 2. Groovy looking to try and make a play back. David P just waiting around the corner. CT's taking this one very slow, but David P wide peeks out and removes the head of Groovy. Now it's left all on to Spiro. He hasn't had the best game so far. He doesn't have his weapon of choice in hand. And the CTs actually still have a little bit of utility. They've got to be careful, though. The bomb is starting to tick a little bit here. Already, though, yeah, Spiro just missing the shots. This round is all but done. Diffuser will be coming in 3D Max with a very nice retake indeed. It is going to be 15-13. And even now, the money's not great for the T side. They will have a buy into this one. Just about. But it's already sketchy. It's not quite the streak of rounds. There was one in the middle, but 3D Max, a very impressive CT side. Now, obviously, you've got to weigh it up both ways and say that neither of these teams have particularly convincing T sides, but even still, it takes a lot to just win this many rounds in a row. It really does. Well, I suppose technically they've only won 1, but you get the point. They won 11 rounds in a row. Nice entries, though. The T side very aggressive. I've actually managed to turn this right around. Maybe this game is not done just yet. 2 players left for the CT side, and well, this is I guess they're just not going to close it out. We got an OT again, a full 30 rounds. Then AGO take it. Somebody wants me to stay here very late indeed. It's already 30 minutes past midnight. But honestly, in a match like this, I don't mind. It's entertaining. The pure streaks. Normally, pure streaks are very, very boring. Jinx, what you got for me, buddy? Can you do anything here? The answer, absolutely not. Can't really blame the lad. Plenty for him to do. Well, it is going to be 15-14. AGO. Not bad. They're going to look to try and turn this around. Do I cast a lot? Recently I've actually had a fair bit of time off. I did like a UK thing yesterday with there was like a community cast and they asked me to come on as a guest, so that was fun, like just casting some of the UK teams. But yeah, over the last few months it's been a bit quiet. Obviously they went to the major, watched that was a lot of fun. Although the Friday of the major was my mum's birthday, so I didn't go. That was the only day of the playoffs where there was a match that actually went to all 3 maps. So what that means is I didn't see a single best of 3 go to 3 maps. Every single one I watched was a 2, and I was just like, come on guys, can we have a little bit of competition here, please? I would really like it if I could see a 3rd map, and you know, it wasn't just a stomp every single time, but still it was nice to see a lot of people. But you did see your mum, I'm sure she's loved. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that I should have gone on the Friday and just be like, Mum, it's your birthday. See you later. No. But I made the right choice there. But even still, it's like, I more was suggesting, Hugo, that I wanted the other games to be better. I'm looking forward to the next one, though. I think ESL always do a fantastic job with the majors, and it's been a while, hasn't it, since we've actually seen them have one. So at least the show match was OT. Yeah, but we didn't watch most of that. What was I doing? I think I went out for a carvery instead of the show match and caught the last no, actually, did we watch any of it? I think we saw 2 minutes. Did you see Chris J's AWP. Yes, it was ridiculous. Yeah, they did announce the next major already. It is Katowice. I think it was in like February, isn't it? Yeah, no, Astralis like just obliterating everybody was not the most fun thing in the world to watch. But the thing is, it's like I did really enjoy watching like all of the sort of clever things that Astralis were doing, and it was definite proof that they were the best team in the world, like no doubts. And also like Na'Vi that were pretty entertaining as well. Will you be in Katowice? I'd like to be. Like. Maybe I'll make the effort. Maybe it's the qualifier that starts in February. I saw someone tweeting about it earlier that there was like the beginning of it because it clashed with like a band they wanted to see. It's like one of the video makers for Big. Sleep well, Hugo. You're up at 5 a.m. Enjoy that. I'm not. Although I probably won't leave here until... Well, it depends. If this goes to a third map, I don't think I'll leave here by 2 a.m. But Counter-Strike, that's how it works, isn't it? You know better than anyone. I think we've done plenty. What was the last one we did? Where... Was it the Cologne qualifiers? We were just there at like 4 a.m. But it's fun. It's all fun. Here we go, though. The last round of regulation. Can 3D Max take this one over the line, or are AGO going to take the second map to overtime as well? The potential for a 3-map thriller. My day's going pretty damn good. We got CS. Here we go. Oh. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me now. The clean feed has been good all the way through this map. Is it really going to freeze at the end? I am going to I'm going to this is just, I hate it. You haven't heard me cast in a while. Yeah, no, it's been slow. Oh, don't do it to me now. No, and I can't even restart it because it's just going to freeze. Please, please, praying to the gods. Just keep, yes, smooth, nice and smooth. Tease, they're looking to try and break around, but it's going to be Jax already. 2, looking for his third, but it won't quite come. It is still going to be the man advantage, and Maka, he's just using the Deagle. He's got his AWP as his pocket weapon. He's got very big pockets, I will admit, but a little bit peculiar. It's going to be Spiro to find another. He's been very quiet this game, but he's found a second. Now he needs all 5 if they're going to be surviving in this one. It looks like 3D Max have got this done, and Dustin, and Spiro just runs back into the... Yeah, all right then. He just decided he wanted to burn, baby burn. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. There will be more tomorrow. That is not me. He's got a lot more hair than I do. So let's just bring up a nice little menu. But yeah, that is it for tonight. If you have enjoyed, you can type exclamation mark caster, and it will take you to my Twitter if you fancy following. It's always appreciated. But yeah, I'll be back for the next, I think, 4 days. Of the Hellcase Cup, and then obviously there's some other interesting stuff coming up after that, but I don't think that's been announced yet. So, well, the event has, I haven't. Either way, that is it. See you tomorrow. I've been Tombiz.